Hey, what's up, YouTube? Well, I'd like to first off apologize for any wind noise that you might be hearing. I got my AC unit, my little window unit, going in my garage today because it's like 104 out, so trying to do it as cool and comfortable in here as possible. I'd like to start off by saying thanks for everybody subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed and you're visiting my channel for the first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than some of the videos I posted in the past. Past videos, they're mostly either RC related or music related, or various different things, concert related, that kind of stuff. So mostly about my family and my hobbies and the things that I love. Well, the one thing I haven't really touched on too much is my passion and love for cooking barbecue. So I'm gonna set this out here. This is my official drink of the day, and nothing but a good old ice cold Coke. So my passion for barbecue started about 21 years ago, I suppose. Yeah, roughly about 20 years ago. About in the year 2000, I got the itch to try my hand at barbecue. So we purchased a small cooker. It was a Charbroil brand. It was a small offset cooker, which we've got still to this day. It's not in very good condition by no means. It's more or less used for a planter box anymore. My passion for barbecue started with that small cooker. It was a little offset, bought at Walmart, and my first batch of barbecue was the utter worst food I've ever cooked before. Cooked a chicken. It turned out black and raw in the middle. I had no idea what I was doing. So, I knew at that point I needed some instructions, so I consulted a few of my peers around town, and they kind of gave me some pointers on what I needed to do, and so I started back and quickly moved to a larger Brinkmann model. I believe it was a 18 or 20 inch barrel style, fully welded, 1/4 inch plate steel, awesome cooker. It was an outstanding setup. So my passion really started with those two cookers. I got really good at cooking ribs and turkey on the Brinkmann. I had the Brinkmann up until this year. I gifted it to a coworker of mine, and he kind of renovated it a little bit. It had some surface rust on it from years of being outside, and he's cooking on it actually today. So it's still in service even after all of these years. Now Brinkmann, they're out of business, but that particular model of cooker had a 75-year warranty on it, made out of, like I said, 1/4 inch plate, and outstanding cooker. Then I moved to I was gifted a Green Mountain cooker in 2017, I believe. 2017. Really large cooking area. It produces excellent food. Cooked several briskets on it, lots of ribs, and bacon wrapped jalapenos and chicken and turkey. And the turkey didn't really turn out too well on the Green Mountain. I'm not exactly sure why. Just not really sure why. But I have my sinking suspicions of why. But that's for a different topic. So after that, I purchased a Pit Boss that I use for steaks and burgers and various other, I want to call them day-to-day type meals. Now the Green Mountain's pellet smoker, pellet cooker. So is the Pit Boss. I also purchased a small Pit Boss for our camper. Between those 3, 4, 5 cookers, you know, they all have their spot in your toolbox. I also acquired through a gift a Oklahoma Joe's offset stick burner, and I'm going to call these a stick burner because they're true log-fired, wood-fired smokers. There's no gas, no electricity, anything like that. But if you're here and it's the first time you've ever inquired about barbecue or anything like that, after you get through watching this video, go onto Facebook and look up our High Plains Smoke and Barbecue Facebook group. It's a barbecue cooking group that everybody shares the recipes on. It's a great place to just go and you know, share food ideas, share barbecue ideas. You know, just kind of, it's a great place. Everybody's really cool. Great camaraderie there. We're about 730 members right now, fairly small. That's 730 members in the past year. So I mean, we've grown quite a bit in this past year. So the Oklahoma Joe's and the Brinkman, I actually gifted away. Brinkman I gifted to a coworker, and the Oklahoma Joe's I gifted to a band buddy of ours. Both excellent cookers. The Oklahoma Joe's I've cooked probably the best brisket on I've ever cooked before, and it was just excellent. We could get into a discussion about cooking brisket, cooking ribs on a completely separate video, and that might be a completely different video that we could get into, maybe start the conversation a little bit, but who knows, that's for a later date. So, but today's task, or the video, is for this Fireboard. Tim, you just said that you gifted away both of your offset smokers. Why would you even be considering a Fireboard? Well, first off, what the hell is a Fireboard? So let me step back a little bit. So I just mentioned that we gifted away both of our offset smokers. Now we still have 3 pellet smokers that we currently use. Pellet smokers, you know, they're great. This could even benefit those as well. But the Daniel Boone has its own temperature monitoring and management interface on your smart device. So Fireboard really wouldn't benefit it. It would benefit the Pit Boss. Pit Boss is, you've just got a food probe that you can monitor stuff with, but it doesn't really have the notification features that the Green Mountain does. So it does a good job, but it still lacks in some of the convenience features and some of the overall monitoring features that the Green Mountain does. But even more so, it lacks a lot of the features that this Fireboard does. So to answer the question of why did I even purchase the Fireboard? Well, what the hell is a Fireboard? Fireboard is it's a thermometer. It's more than just a thermometer, though. It's a 6-channel thermometer. You can monitor ambient temperatures, food temperatures. It's tied to Fireboard's cloud services. You can get notifications on your phone. You can do all kinds of great, grandiose things, a lot of which I'll get into here in a little bit. But the reason I purchased this is because we have progressed to a larger stick burner, and the reason for this is we entered a barbecue competition last year and came to the realization, my buddy and I, a coworker and I, came to the realization really fast that we had not near enough product to satisfy the demand of the brisket I cooked. So I wanted a cooker that could handle volume and, you know, be an investment into not only my family, but into the prospects of starting a side barbecue business that could sustain, you know, some additional income in the future. Could be something I could fall back on after I retire, you know, whatever. But I searched for the better part of a year trying to find someone that could fit the bill as a builder. I looked at Lang. I looked at the guys in Alabama. Shirley Fabrication. I looked at Shirley Fabrication. Their backlog is 3 years. Oh no, 30 months. I'm sorry, 30 months. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable to me. I can't wait that long. And that's after you put the down payment down. So, that's 30 months of lost potential revenue that I would be waiting on. So, I opted not to go to them. I looked at several other different builders, and one I decided on was Big Phil's Big Phil's Smokers and Steel Fabrication in Royce City, Texas. Finally made the leap this past spring, put down my deposit. We worked out all the details, and the pit's going to be here in late October. So, but I'm not really going to get into the details of what the pit is, but more so of the Fireboard and what it does, and how it could benefit you as a barbecue pit master or a grill master, or, you know, this could be the end all be all tool for your grilling tool belt. Okay, that's what the Fireboard does. So what the Fireboard is a complete fan controller. This particular model is, at least. Fan controller. Again, it monitors up to 6 channels of temperature probes. It will upload. You can control it on your smart device. You can control it. I don't believe you can control it on the website. I mean, you can just monitor your cook on the website. It will send you alerts via text, email. There's some other notifications out there that I'll have to look and see. The Fireboard is an outstanding unit. Now, I've already unboxed this. I've already looked at it. I've already set it up. I'm not really going to get into a whole lot of that, but I will give you a little bit deeper dive into the actual app. How do you work things, so on and so forth. But anyway, let's go ahead and crack this open. Now, I'm going to preface this with, I purchased this directly off the Fireboard's website for $249. This is the Fireboard 2 Drive Edition. I also purchased the enhanced probe pack, which includes an additional ambient air probe and 4 additional food probes. The Fireboard 2 comes with an ambient air and 2 food probes, totaling of 2 ambient air and 6 food probes for this. And that's what you'll see when I open this box. So go ahead and open this up. As you can see, I've already peeled the label off. These are some little information cards that you probably should read. This gray one here, it basically states that if you've got a dual band router in your house, 5 gigahertz doesn't work too well with Fireboard, 2.4 does. So pay attention to that, read it. Your instruction manual, read that. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm not going to get to the Fireboard just yet. So this package here includes all the stuff that I purchased. This is not what you get in the bag. It includes everything that was in the enhanced probe pack as well. So these are your ambient air probes. They're identical. You also get the ambient air probe mounts. They basically sit through here, clamp onto your grill, and it measures the air instead of the metal that it would be mounted to otherwise. So this is these are the food probes. I've got 6 of these puppies. That's kind of what they look like. I don't know if you can kind of see that or not. But they're very, very high quality. 6 of those. Comes with USB-C charging cable and the USB-C charging brick. Just like that. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to put this back in the box. I'm going to pause here, go grab my phone, and resume it after I do that. Okay, and we are back. Okay, so when you get your Fireboard, let's pull this thing out of the box. When you get your Fireboard, you'll have, of course, this label on the screen, but you'll see you got 6 probe ports here, USB charging. This is your drive section. This is power to the fan, and the controller port for the fan. So what the fan does is it basically regulates how much oxygen is in your firebox. If you set a temperature, it compares the temperature in the ambient air in your pit, your cooking chamber, versus how much air is needed to maintain that temperature. So it's constantly cycling on and off, which is great, but the type of pit that I have in getting built does not have that. When you get your Fireboard ordered and it's already shipped, they come out of Kansas City, you might as well go ahead and download the Fireboard app. Go ahead and sign up for an account on Fireboard site, because you're going to need that. Go ahead and get all those things set up in anticipation for getting your Fireboard. Makes things a lot faster in the end. You get your app set up, and the beauty about this is the hardware and software developers made it incredibly easy to get set up. So your phone initially connects to the Fireboard via Bluetooth. When you first turn it on, it'll detect a Fireboard here. You probably won't be able to see it, but it will detect a Fireboard in this area here, and then you add that to your account. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's 3 buttons on the side, and each one does something different. The first top button will turn the Fireboard on. It will, if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it'll go ahead and connect to it, but if you're not, it will need to be set up for everything to work. So the next thing you'll do is, once you get your pit detected on your phone, go ahead and you can select the Fireboard, and then you can add in your Wi-Fi settings here. So then you can change the device name and all that good stuff. So what you will do after that, I'll go ahead and get me a couple probes ready. We're going to use the ambient air probes for this demonstration. It does not take long for your Fireboard to detect the sensor and start transmitting data across your network. So once you get your Fireboard set up and you know it's transmitting, you'll see the icons across here. It'll give you status of your battery, Wi-Fi strength, and Bluetooth. So then you can go back to your dashboard. Now it will give you 2 different views. Chart and detail. Chart is great if you want to monitor all of your probes at one glance. But if you want to go into a detailed view and view each probe individually, that's where you would do it. So, and that's on the dashboard. You've got different sessions here. You can do different cooks. You can go back and review the cooks. You can share those, and you can. It'll pull in all those sessions from Fireboard's cloud services, so you can review them and kind of see how your cook went, make adjustments. Did you do something wrong? Did you forget to stoke the fire? You know, all those different questions that come up if you have an unsuccessful cook, or if you just want to perfect it. That's where you could do that. Oops. Let's see here. Go back to dashboard. You can customize each individual channel, change the name, and what's amazing, I'm gonna do one thing here. So this top button will cycle through the different views on the Fireboard. This is individual channel with a graph, I think. So the bottom button, what it does is it cycles through the frequency, or how often your graph timeline is displaying. So you got like 1 minute, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 12 hours, and back to 1 minute. So 30 minutes usually works pretty good for me. That's on the individual channel view, and I think there's a way that you can display multiple channels on. Yes. Let's do something here. Okay, so I'll get to that notification here in a minute. But there's a way that you can display multiple graphs on the Fireboard too. I'm not sure exactly how to do that yet. But so you can cycle through the different views and cycle through the different channels. Like that one there. We'll go back to channel 1. Individual channels, you can I think you can select, you can cycle through the different channels this way. They're just different ways of viewing it, displaying your information, so on and so forth. Now, say for example, you can go back and label these, but there's no method of labeling them on the Fireboard itself. It's all done through your app. And so you notice I've got some on here. The first one, channel 1, is pit temp. Second one's channel 2 for ribs. Channel 3 could be, I don't know, whatever. So to do that, what you do is you go and you just tap on channel 3 and change it. Chicken. Bam. And you'll notice it's already updated this. Now, it could do it through Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. It doesn't really matter. One experiment could be is to turn off Bluetooth, turn off your Wi-Fi, and then just see if you could do it through your normal wireless connection through your mobile device provider. So you can label all of those through your app. You can set up alerts, which is kind of cool. I've got 2 alerts set for the pit temp. Max of, let's see here, max of 76. So you could come in here if you wanted to delete that one. Pit's not going to do that. Pit's only going to need a minimum and a maximum. But you can have multiple alerts for each channel, depending on what you want to do, or how you want the notifications to be sent to you, what kind of alerts. So you can manage the notifications for each channel. And the one you can do custom app notifications, email notifications, SMS, do a custom start and stop time. Like this is 24 hours a day. It would notify you if you had a cook for that long. So you can the minutes buffer. Not exactly sure what that is. The minutes repeat means that this notification would repeat for 30 minutes before it would no longer repeat if it was not addressed. So for an alert reminding you that it hit a particular temperature that you needed to, say, for me, brisket, I wrap mine at 150 degrees internal temp. So I would have a notification or an alert set up for once it reached 150 degrees. Excuse me. That it would send me a notification, but that notification would only last for 1 minute, and after that, it would not notify me again. So that's what that minutes repeat is for. So you can go through and you can set up your channels based off of how you want it set up. You can also go through and you can share your cook on social media, wherever, an email, messenger, text message, or whatever. What it essentially does is, if your cook is set up, if your session is set up, say here, to be shared, you can share it to your friends, co-workers, somebody monitoring your stuff for you remotely, if you're out and about, so on and so forth. But realistically, if you're out and about and you don't have somebody at home, I really wouldn't be leaving the house. But you can make a quick trip. With typically 45 minutes is what a stick would last before it needs to be added to it, or that's about as long as it would last before you'd have to add another one to keep the fire going. But you can share it. People can watch it in real time. And let's see what else. But the Fireboard itself, Fireboard 2, is an incredible piece of hardware. I've never had one this nice before and this advanced. So, you know, these types of devices are great for extended cooks, or just perfecting your process. And that's what it's about, is making sure you can get consistent, reproducible results every time, and you don't have to rely on, well, I wonder how I did this, or what went wrong, I wasn't there, you know, or I let my fire go out, you know, why? So that's where the Fireboard comes in, because it gives you the ability to, oh, and this is not touchscreen, it gives you the ability to monitor your cook from afar, and it notifies you of any instances of where your thresholds have been met, temperature thresholds. And that's all this thing does, is it monitors temp. But that's what you buy it for, is to help you. With a conventional stick burning pit that has no method of computer controlled devices on it, it's not electric powered, nothing like that. You're going to have to do something to help you, and that's where this comes in. I've been watching these for a couple of years now. This is the second iteration of it, second version, I should say, and man, they have really knocked it out of the park. First version really kind of it was bigger, but only had a really small display screen, and it worked really well from what I've read. But you know, it's not this. I can wholeheartedly tell you it's not that. But yeah, barbecue is my passion. I love it. You know, I've got some opinions on things with barbecue. I'm not necessarily a barbecue snob per se, but I've had really good barbecue before, and a lot of times I judge how mine is produced based off of what I've had in the past, and I try and learn from other pitmasters and other restaurants and other people. You know, I mean, you're never going to be better until you learn and perfect it. You know, just keep doing it, keep cooking meat. But this new pit's gonna be pretty awesome. Pretty excited for it. It's a 200 well, I guess I'll tell you what size it is. It's trailer mounted, 250 gallon propane tank style build, 30-inch insulated firebox. So the insulated firebox, you can literally put your hand on it with a full fire going in it, and it's ice cold. It will not burn you. So that means all of your energy is actually going into the cooking chamber and not being convected by you know, Mother Nature, you know, external forces from, you know, convected off of the cooker itself. So the insulated firebox is, I believe it's 2 inches thick. So the complete size of it is 30 inches outside to outside, but 2 inches all the way around is nothing but insulation, fireproof insulation, and it works really, really well. Look up Big Phil's Smokers on Instagram and Facebook, and if you're interested in one of those, this isn't a plug for him or anything like that, but if you're interested, give him a call. He's a cool guy, you know, just really down to earth, and just wants to provide you with the best possible cooker out there. You know, they're all custom builds, and he's got some that aren't, but most generally, you know, they're built to order. You know, he's not mass producing them or nothing like that. I wouldn't say he's not mass producing. He's pretty well booked up. So build them as small as you want or as large as you want, because I think these past two, if you watch his Instagram, are 500 gallons. You know, tandem axle trailers, hand builds all of his trailers. You know, paints them, or he'll clear coat them with automotive clear to preserve the patina, which that's how this one's going to come. So it will be completely one of a kind when we get it. So we've got an idea on how it's going to be, but I'm not going to allude to anything like that until construction starts, and we might send a GoPro down there so you can do some time lapse or whatever for it. So, but anyway, that's kind of what this is. I want to kind of stop it there. I know this is a little bit longer video than normally I do, but there's a lot of content, a lot of things I had to go over with this, and I know there's quite a few people that were looking forward to this type of introductory video on the Fireboard 2. This isn't a review because I haven't used it yet. This is just an introductory video on what it does, and you know, give me 6 months and I'll have learned this thing inside and out, and kind of give you some tips and tricks on some of the things I've discovered. But additionally, I've got an Android in this. The app works on iOS devices, Android. You know, you can monitor everything on the website. So you know, it's a great device. Again, I got this off of Fireboard's website, $249 for it. I believe it's $40 or $50 for the enhanced probe pack, because I think these things are like maybe $15 a piece. I'm not sure. So, I mean, they're pretty high. I mean, pretty high quality for what they are. But you know, this thing is really going to be a game changer when it comes, at least for me, when it comes to cooking good barbecue. Barbecue is one of those things that takes patience, and you know, you have to have something guiding you along the road when you're cooking stuff, especially if you're doing a big cook. You know, lots of different cuts of meat, and that's one thing with this cooker. You know, we'll be able to do large quantities of brisket, or large quantities of ribs, or large quantities of turkey or chicken, or you know, whatever. And so once everything kind of gets into swing and I fully figured the cooker out, and we're fully stocked on all the amenities, you can kind of expect a new website to appear, a Facebook page, new Instagram page, all the necessary little social media items to start popping up, promoting this, and you'll soon see what the name of the company will be and all of that good stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna cut it off there, and want to wish everybody an awesome weekend. It's 104 hellaciously hot degrees outside today in Oklahoma Panhandle, and I've got all my mowing done for the day. I'm inside, kind of just chilling out, drinking a nice cold Coke, and yeah, I want to wish everybody an awesome weekend. So, everybody, love y'all. Catch y'all later. Deuces.